Hello everybody and welcome to the WoD Beta. My current character that I'm playing is Karynth, level 91, and I've played through a little bit of the beginning area. You can see that I've completed some quests up in this region here, and I've also done the introduction area. For the introduction area, it's going to be the pre-WoD patch that'll come out probably sometime in late September, early October. And for that, your reward is a little iron starlight. This is a little pet after you complete a lot of the quests. You'll also be able to go into a revamped Upper Blackrock Spires as part of the introduction to Warlords of Draenor. Once you do enter Warlords of Draenor, you have the option to go to, or you will start actually, no matter what, in Tanaan Jungle. You will start right here near the Dark Portal, go through a bunch of quests, and it does a really good job of kind of setting the mood and setting how all the different clans are working together. It introduces the fact that you've released Gul'dan, Tarangor, and Cho'Gall, all three lead members of the Shadow Council, from being prisoners and having to power the entire portal. Then you escape with Khadgar and some other notable characters, including Murad and Drek'Thar. And you go through and you explore basically what each of the clans kind of represents. You get to meet Kilrog Deadeye and his clan, who use blood rituals to power up their warriors. Karynth Bladefist and his whole idea of arena, which kind of ties back to his story, which if you haven't seen it, I really recommend seeing the Lords of War series that Blizzard has been putting out on YouTube. You then go in through some mines where you encounter the Shadowmoon clan, which is who I believe we'll be dealing with here, led by Ner'zhul. You then encounter Blackhand and the Blackrock clan, who are very weapon-oriented, metal, forging, molten, everything. And then you finally end it all by taking control of a giant cannon a giant tank that they were planning to bring into Azeroth, and blowing up the Dark Portal. This portal now is destroyed. They don't really have a way to get into Azeroth anymore, so now you're a little bit stuck here. There's obviously, for game reasons, you can hearth out and you can portal out everything, but you're essentially now in the world, and they are in the world too. They want to be able to get back to attacking Azeroth, but now there's this threat here, and that's you. And you and your alliance, or you and the Horde, have to now deal with this Iron Horde threat and basically try to figure out what's going on in Draenor and stop it. If you're an alliance, once you leave this little introduction area of Tanaan Jungle, you appear at Eventide Landing on Shadowmoon Valley, and you basically get introduced to Prophet Velen, who's the same Prophet Velen in our world, but he's not the same Prophet Velen anymore. It's the same person, but there's two of them. He leads all the Draenei in Shadowmoon Valley, and you basically start by just setting up your garrison and doing some simple quests. So what I'm going to do is walk around what a garrison is. So your garrison has its own little private map here, and you can see buildings on it. For example, I currently have a town hall and a barracks. And this is my town hall.
I don't have a target.
And this is my barracks. Pretty small right now, not too fancy or anything. This is also just kind of a level 1 garrison, hasn't had very much effort put into it, and you'll get more effort put into it as you level and as you progress throughout the expansion. One really cool thing is, there's a garrison cache, and you can use this to gain garrison resources. I only got 2 here. It's kind of like an overtime thing that you get resources, and you can see all your resources down here. You can have up to 10,000 of them at a time. What's kind of nice is you just have people representing your garrison and everything, walking around as if they're actually just living here and part of everything. You also get something called followers. Followers are a new interesting part of this expansion that tie directly into garrisons, and it's kind of like a Farmville type of game where you send them off to do a task, they complete it or don't complete it and come back. It's also very similar to, if you've played Final Fantasy Advanced Tactics, you could send your party members or clan members out to do something, and they could come back and they'd be rewarded with experience, or maybe you'd get an item. You can view this once you start your garrison with this button, the Garrison Report. And you can see which quests you have in progress and which missions are there still available. You can also check your different followers. So in this case, I only have 2 followers right now, Bruma Swiftstone and Kiana Moonshadow. each person has a class, a level. They can go up to 100, I believe, and they do this by doing these quests for you. And they have abilities, and abilities are basically ways to improve their ability to complete a quest. So in this case, Kiana Moonshadow has a better chance of completing a quest if she's doing a quest that takes place in a forest, a mission I should say, not quest. And she does even better if there's something out there, if there's an enemy in that mission that has wild aggression as its ability. It's very difficult, it needs to be controlled. She's able to control it because she has the ability Growl. Likewise, Bruma Swiftstone has her own abilities. She has Fan of Knives, which is good at taking down minion swarms, which is another ability that a mission may involve. She also has Child of the Moon, which means that when she's fighting alongside a Night Elf, so if you put 2 people on a mission, if there's a Night Elf in there, it'll be an increased success. And she also has Wastelander, which means she has increased chance when fighting in the desert. Now you'll notice that the quality is different. Kiana Moonshadow's an uncommon, and Bruma Swiftstone is a rare. Well, usually you will get these in an uncommon, at least for the quests that I've experienced so far. But one thing that can happen is whenever you receive a reward from a quest, or from a mission, you have a chance for it to be at a higher level. So for example, she was supposed to be an uncommon, but I got lucky and she was given to me as a rare. Likewise, quest rewards can do the same thing. This weapon, Karabor Arcanist Rod, was previously an item level 515 green staff. However now, I got lucky when I turned it in as a quest and it became a blue rare staff at item level 520. This is just something to add kind of a randomness to as you're leveling and as you're going through the world and kind of keep you on your toes so that the next thing that may not have been that much of an upgrade could very well be. And these can end up being an epic quality as well. So a couple more things I want to go through before I actually start playing through the game. You can see that the new character model is in. You can see it on Drana, you can see it on my human female here. Female dwarves have it. You can see this one in particular is maybe a little bit easier to see. Human males. And it's just nice to see all the new models, and I think they've done a pretty good job with it. Another thing that they've added, which is really nice, is for mounts you can have a summon random favorite mount. You can favorite different mounts, and then use this button over on your skill bar to summon a random mount. For example, I just summoned the Regal Riding Crane. And if I do it again, now I'll get a Cobalt Riding Talbuk, just pulling from these randomly. One thing that's a little bit annoying is if you're in a zone like Stormwind or anywhere in Pandaria and you can fly there, if you have a flying mount, for example the Green Riding Netherray, you will always pull a flying mount. Likewise, if you're in the water, you will always pull a water specific mount if you have one, such as the Water Strider or the Sea Turtle. Or if you're really lucky and you have Poseidon, you can pull that as well. Another thing they've added for UI wise that's really nice is this toy box. Previously people had lots of items from archaeology, from rare drops, from quests, from lots of different things, world events. All these things used to take up bag space and were character specific in general. Some were able to be traded between characters as an account bound item, but now they're all put into this toy box. And what's nice about this is you can use them whenever you want, from wherever you are, assuming that you have the item. So you can drag it down to a bar like this to put Xantish's flute there, or you can just click it from in here. Anything that shares a cooldown, like you can see the whole body Shrinka and this Senjin Spirit Drum, they will activate the cooldown. So it's like before where if you use an item and it shares a cooldown, it'll still happen. But now you don't have to worry about having it clog up your bag space or anything like that. You can just click them, transform, do whatever fun stuff you want, and move on. Again, you can favorite these items. They're always sorted first just by alphabetic, but you can also now click favorite and they'll automatically put it at the top, removed from wherever they were normally. So that way if you have a few that you always use all the time or want to use all the time, you can quickly access them. Another thing that's kind of nice for people that don't know it is the item squish and the item changes and stat changes. So you can see right here that I only have about 65,000 HP and my pet only has about 39,000. This is drastically less than what we would have had on live. Items have also been squished a lot. Here's a Season 15 item level 522 PvP gloves. You can see that the amount of intellect on it is much less than it was before, as well as for all the other stats. You also can see over here that if you go down to attack and spell, you no longer have hit and expertise needed to be able to hit your target. It's automatically baked in, you automatically have it. There are going to be some adjustments in PvP to allow that randomness to miss, I believe. But, at least for PvE, it's no longer a stat you have to worry about. Instead, there's new stats you can look at. Bonus armor, multi-strike, which is essentially like the overloaded mastery before for an elemental shaman. That gives you a chance to do extra damage, so if you hit 100, you would hit 2 times for 30. Leech is just a lifesteal type of ability. As you deal damage, you'll gain a portion of that as healing. Versatility just is a straight increase to damage and healing and a decrease to damage taken. And then avoidance is a reduction to area of effect attacks that may hit you. The other thing I want to just introduce here is rare spawns. So rare spawns can appear throughout the world. I've encountered some here, 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 and here. And these rare spawns are all following the Timeless Isle type of rare spawn, where when you find it, anyone that can tag it can get the drop. However, what happens is they drop their rare spawn item on the first kill. Any additional kills will not net you anything, it'll just be like a regular random mob in the world. Rare spawn items that they drop are pretty interesting. I've gotten, for example, this Mushroom of Destiny, which, if people remember Burning Crusade, has a very similar effect to what you could get from the Sporagar quest for turning in, I can't remember the name of it, but those red plants from Slave Pens and Underbog. I've also gotten just straight items like this for killing a random Spore Bat rare, or this. And these items can have random effects now, so this is a Precious Bloodthorn loop. You can see that even though it gives me strength and agility, I don't gain any benefit from it, and I will instead just have this intellect and stamina that I get use from. Spirit exists too, but again, it's not that much of something we have to worry about. And they just have unique things. For example, this one, I can spend 10% of my maximum health, or about 6,500, to stealth for 10 seconds. Now I have a pet, so this isn't as useful, and I have people following me. But if you're just wandering in the world, you may be able to use this to skip past something. It's on a 5-minute cooldown, but it's a pretty interesting item. There's other items I've gotten, such as this one. Baroon's Bountiful Bloom. This restores a large amount of HP and mana over 20 seconds, and is basically repeatable food that you can eat. I've also received Whispers of Raivash, which is a slow fall for 10 seconds. It does have a cast time though, so you can't just jump off something and use it, you have to use it before. You'll also find things in the world that glow, and I can show you an example here. By clicking my Void Lord, he glows blue. Clicking this NPC, it's green. And you can see that as I click things, they just have a glow color around it. You can turn this off, this one glows yellow. You can turn these off, but they're allowing you to see that this is something you can either interact with, or it's a character that exists. Green is for something that's an allied but is PvP flaggable. Blue is allied but not PvP flaggable. Green is also applied to, I believe, almost every single NPC in the game that's allied with you. Red would be anything hostile, and yellow would be anything neutral. These kind of grayish color outlines, like you can see here and what you may have seen earlier, on like this chair or the garrison cache, those mean that it's something you can just interact with. You can click it, maybe open it, something like that. In fact, you can see it there, that's glowing. Some things will glow constantly, like the garrison cache, to let you know that you can go grab something. Others will only glow if you hover over them, like the benches and the chairs. Out in the world, there's a chance for these things to appear, and they're clickable and usable, just like a lot of the different foods were on Timeless Isle. They'll have a little glow around them to let you know that you can use them. Other things will glow purple. These tend to have more rare items in it. Maybe it's just like a garrison cache where it just has a bunch of garrison resources in it. Or, for example, I found a cauldron surrounded by carnivorous squirrels that had a void boiled squirrel. These can be just fun items. There may even be toys, pets, mounts, you name it. It's something we'll have to go around and explore. And exploration is a great word because these rare spawns are hidden everywhere. You can just run along and find them. They're kind of out of the way. Some of them you don't even have any reason to go to, like the one I found here. Some of them will be right along the way that you're questing. So it's kind of as you go, you'll explore. As you explore throughout the world, you'll be able to find these rare mobs and work with them from there. Another thing that's nice is you can see that the map and quest log are now together. If you close and open your map, I'm just pressing M to do it, you can see that it shows the map and the quests. You can close and open the quest log if you don't want to see that. If you press L, for example, which is the default for quest, you will open everything as well. This is just to kind of simplify everything and have less things you have to worry about. Also on the map, you can see these bonus objectives. These are things that are not quests, but are things that if you go there and complete them, you'll get an EXP reward and a gold reward, maybe even an item reward. We'll have to see as we complete more. There was one here which was to kill mobs and pick up things on the ground. And this one would go to kill 12 shaded planestalkers and 12 Seacliff Kalari. And as you do things like this, you'll be rewarded as you go. The last thing I can think about, as of the moment at least, is this. This shows you the story progress that you've made through the zone. If you follow the main quests as you go, they will complete this, and this will let you know that you've completed the main story for the zone. Completing the main story may not matter for some people, they may want to complete everything. But for people that don't really care about random side quests or anything, this is a good way to know, oh, the rest of the quests I have aren't going to be influential in moving forward or telling me more. Just another nice little thing they've added. And so you may have noticed while I was talking there that this started glowing and we got a pop-up here. That meant to say that our in-progress missions are now completed, so I can return to my garrison by going to my town hall, clicking this command table, and viewing the completed missions. So against the Corrupted Toad, Kiana Moonshadow was successful, and she gained 100 EXP, plus another 150. In this case, defeating the Pale Devourer, for this mission, Landfall Recovery, Bruma Swiftstone was successful. She also gained EXP, and I got a Shimmering Gauntlets. Shimmering Gauntlets are a nice new type of item, following the Timeless Isle rewards again, where you can create an item specialized for the current loot specialization that you've selected. So why don't we create this glove and see what it is. We can see that it's just a random glove, has intellect, stamina, haste, and mastery. And although it's worse, I've decided that I'm going to slowly replace all my epics with the quest rewards and things that I find to better simulate what an actual player may encounter and try not to outlevel things. I still got 4 or 5 pieces left that I need to replace, but I would definitely have more than before if I had kept them all, and it would just be a lot easier to go through things. So, with all of that, let's move forward and try to get some questing in so we can actually show some of this stuff off. Oh, I almost forgot actually. Not only can you finish a mission, but you can then restart one. You can see there's 2 available. This one requires 3 followers, so even if I drag both of these down, I cannot start it. It would reward me with a random rare ring though. However, for Skyward Threat, I can put something in. Maybe I want to put in Bruma Swiftstone. What would that give me? A 73% chance? Well, Kiana will give me a 73% chance as well. So really what it comes down to then is, who do you want to level more? Who do you care more about? And you can check and say, okay, she's got only about 200 experience left, and she's got about 300. I will wait, because I've actually experienced this before on another character, because I just realized I don't want to go questing yet. One of the quests we were given was... where is it? Right here, Ashran Appearance. Our base on Ashran is almost complete. It would be a huge source of support if you could make a trip out there and put your stamp of approval. So we are given an automatic flight path to Ashran over here. Currently I only have these 2, but by using this I will gain it. So we'll fly off and see what happens. And you can see that this zone is just beautiful. It's got really great colors. It looks pretty seamless with that world, that extra zone. Here's where we landed after we hijacked a giant Iron Horde ship. And we'll actually fly past part of Tanaan Jungle in just a little bit here. And you can see that they've done a really good job, I feel, of keeping the feeling of the original Burning Crusade by having like a Zanger Marsh area. But no longer is it Zanger Marsh, it's just giant mushrooms necessarily are in the ocean. So it's kind of just a nice little throwback to what used to be. Here's where we took the ship and ran, and here's the dark portal. That whole little area there, about this much of Tanaan Jungle, is where you have your introductory quests, and you get introduced to all the main characters. We actually got introduced to Kilrog Deadeye, Karynth Bladefist, Blackhand, Ner'zhul, and Gul'dan. We didn't get introduced to I forgot what his name was, the leader of the Frostwolves, Thrall's father Duratan, or Grom Hellscream. You can see now we've landed here. And there's a little bit of bugs in terms of things taking a little bit longer than I wanted to get off, but it'll be fine.
What can I do for you?
And you can see that they've really made sure that you are, you know, everyone likes you, everyone knows you. And I've experienced this. So you can learn different buildings and stuff here, that's pretty nice.
You have a great day.
And I know where we're going because of a previous character as well, so I'm just going to kind of show this off.
You need something?
We gotta heal, we gotta fix that. You can see that Ashran, this is our home city. Some people aren't happy that it's kind of this ragtag area, but I think it's got a kind of nice feel. You got a little Draenei area, you've got little taverns, little barracks, places where people can live. I like this little marsh area a lot, actually. A whole little gnomish area. Here you have just where you would head off into Ashran. I cannot yet because I'm not level 100. You got training dummies you can play with and test your skills out on. Over here, so that was a gnomish area. Over here you kind of have a human tower that they're building. You got a portal to Stormwind even. And you can talk to different people here, Newbie McGreen for example. And then right here, you of course have a dwarven area. This dwarven area has a portal back to Ironforge. And if you go in, you can talk to the dwarves that are in here. You can see that there's a banker here. And this will be kind of where everything is. Up here you've got guild bankers.
How are ya?
So I can actually look through here. And this is something I hadn't noticed before. So there's a reagent bank. You can purchase it. And now you've got a reagent bank. You can put all your reagents in there. Anything that you want to store. And I believe now they can actually stack up to 200. So we'll stick all that in because these are cooking, crafting materials, I believe. For fish now, once you get a certain number of them, you can gut and clean them. And then you'll get a part back. So for example, this is a small blind lake sturgeon I fished, but I need 20 of them in order to gut and clean. For everything that's in here, got just kind of random things. I don't know if I have any toys to show off. Heirlooms are here, but again, they never were scaled up, so you still can only use them up to around 85, I believe. Guild banker probably won't talk to me because I'm not in a guild right now, but you can see I'm a little bit more emotive in terms of everything. So that's kind of nice.
You got my attention. Great to meet you.
Interesting. So it's kind of like a little vault. There is an auction house here. I do not remember where it is at the moment. And again, like I said, you got a little dollar and portal. Down here you have the little night elf section. And they've got a portal to Darnassus, as you would expect. So you really represent the main races of the Alliance here. Draenei are not represented in this town because most of the Draenei that came back recognize this world as their previous home world. Unless you were very young when you arrived on Azeroth or you were born on Azeroth, you wouldn't notice anything different.
How are you?
Also, you'll notice here, you can only learn up to 500 to 600 fishing. That's because professions are learned differently, and we should figure out something about that pretty soon when we get back to questing. In here, so here's an auction house,
You need something?
and you can see, let's just check weapons for example. A lot of different weapons. You can see people are charging a little bit of excessive amounts. Battle pets, miscellaneous, maybe we can see if there's anything here. So these outpost building assemblies and outpost construction guides are used to purchase new patterns faster than you would in any other way. Gems exist, but I believe they overhauled that a little bit. Recipes, there's not too much. Glyphs, looks like not too many people on the beta are really worrying. And I believe, if I remember correctly also,
See you around.
this auction house is now server-wide. It's no longer just an alliance and a horde, but rather it's horde and alliance together. It's like the neutral auction house, but for everyone. Here you have an entrance area, and then down here is a little inn. If you haven't learned a profession, you can learn them from people, but you won't be able to get anything above 600. So let's talk here. So talk to 3 different people.
Be careful.
Well, and you can see this glowing thing again takes place where you can see that it's highlighting who we need to talk to for the quest. I would love to make this my home. I don't want to transport anywhere else. We can go here, and let's go talk to Indicator Nurim, who I believe would be in the main hall. Yep, so he's right here.
Come, speak with me.
You can see he's for the Council of Exarch Quartermaster. I've already gained some rep with them, but not too much. You can see there's different items you can buy. Contracts to have people follow you, and be able to participate in missions. Items to teleport you around, have different effects. Mini pets, a potion specifically for that zone, tabards, and then a trinket, including this one, of course. So let's go and talk to this new recruit. I think this new recruit may have been the one we saw a little bit earlier. They've also done a lot better about showing where you actually have to go. And they've done a nice little yellow button, yellow little dot, to show exactly who it is. So in this case, yep, it's Newbie McGreen.
Hey there.
You're here too? Oh, phew, I was really starting to think I made a bad call. I'm ready to win this war for the Alliance.
Have a good one.
So now we've talked to everyone, we can go back and turn it in. So, we will go here. I apologize, people are trying to call me on Skype.
Greetings.
Turn it in, and now we're told to go talk to a surly dwarf, Delvar Ironfist. He's up the hill, but his passion for battle is palpable. So, we'll go up here, and we'll enter the little barracks. You can see it's about the same as what mine looks like at the moment. We'll talk to him here. Oh, it's you!
Off with you.
You can gain a follower. That's great, right? So now we've gained a follower, and if we check, we've now got him added as well. He's got the ability Bone Shield, so he can protect against massive strikes, and Bodyguard, so he can accompany me once we get a level 2 or 3 barracks. So, now with all that done, we're going to take a garrison back to Hearthstone, and then we will set up our missions, and then I will take a quick break and move on. Let's see, hopefully it gets back here.
I will go with you
We
here.
teleport it
A
in.
warm welcome awaits us at
We go to our
Embody
table,
Village.
and we can say, okay, could we put everyone on 1 and get a pretty good reward? Looks like it. 94% chance. Takes about an hour. We'll start the mission. You can also see that his bone shield would protect against this and make it very easy to finish this mission as well. So with that, we'll take a break, and I'll see you guys in a little bit.